Windows Vista, the operating system that was ahead of its time at launch. It introduced new stunning graphics and features, but that came with its insane system requirements, causing it to have such a terrible launch. 16 years later, we're going to give Windows Vista a second chance and see how well it performs in the year 2023. Now you can see I'm using a CRT monitor for this video, but we're going to install Windows Vista on a virtual machine. So let's get right into it. So as you can see here, we're at the setup to install Windows Vista. So we're just going to proceed with everything it asks us to do. And now that we've finished installing Vista, let's just do the proper setup. So I'll put in my name, don't need to put a password. We can name this Vista-PC. I think it's a pretty good name, pretty basic. Now out of the box, Windows Update doesn't work. We have to do some system modifications. So we'll just click use recommended settings because this will just automatically install updates. If we click this, it'll install just important updates. It won't install like optional updates. If we click ask me later, it just won't install updates or check for them. So we'll click use recommended settings and we'll just set this to Eastern time. Then we'll click home and we can click start. Alright, there we go. We're now in. You can see that it greets you with the welcome center, and we don't need to go into that because I'm pretty sure we all know how to use Vista. Right off the bat, the graphics aren't the best because we're installing this in a virtual machine and no graphics drivers are installed. So let's do that first. Now that we're in, we can go back to personalize. We can go to window color and appearance. And there we go. We have Windows Aero. We can click apply and there we go. It's now working. So we can click OK and just exit out of this screen. So we can now confirm that Windows Aero does look good, and it does look as good as it did back then. Look how nice that looks. Sure, it's pretty heavy on the GPU, but it does look great. It's too bad the Windows Aero doesn't exist in Windows 11 like it did in Vista. Remnants of Windows Aero do exist in Windows 11, but the actual UI here, like the Aero glass, that doesn't exist. Alright, so first thing done. Now let's take a look at desktop gadgets. Now, after a while, the services have been discontinued, but the local ones, or the offline ones, they work really well. So the clock, it's pretty self-explanatory. Now you can view headlines. Now, this feature, I'm not entirely sure if it still works. I'll have to look that up, but at least the photo gallery still works. And if we want to add more gadgets, we can just right-click on the sidebar and click Add Gadgets, and you can see that there's a lot to take a look at. You can view contacts. I've literally none. We can view the CPU meter. Pretty impressive. You'd think it'd be at 100, but no, it's at like 0. It's like at 4, 1, 2. But the RAM usage is at 17%. Of course, it's going to be up a bit. Click slideshow, which is that thing right there. View stocks. I'm impressed. Still works a bit. Oh, does not work. Service not available. This was always a fun one, the picture puzzle. You can just drag the pieces here. You can even just click them if you don't want to drag them. And this was always fun to play. Now, after a while, the website to get more gadgets, of course, doesn't exist. You can find it on the Internet Archive. And the weather gadget also doesn't work because the service, again, is discontinued. And now, this is a reoccurring theme with all of the gadgets as well as all the services in Windows, especially Windows Update. So, you can see service not available, but of course with some modifications you can actually get all of these to work again. Or if you just use third-party gadgets, then those will work too. Notes were always handy. You can just type things, like I'm going to type Windows Vista. You can put them on the desktop as well. Oh, I guess you can't. No, you can't. So you can throw them on the desktop if you want. Put them back here if you need. Then there's also currency. Again, service not available, which sucks. It would have been nice if Microsoft was kind enough to keep these alive. Then you have calendar. You can take a look here. Pretty cool. And you can see just more details here. And there's only one page. Now, you could add more gadgets, but the main reason why gadgets were discontinued in Windows 8 and above, because of a security vulnerability. Microsoft just shut the door on gadgets completely, and that's why they only stayed in Vista in Windows 7. Again, still great features, and you can use third-party tools to actually get gadgets back in the latest versions of Windows 8, 8.1, 10, and 11. Now that we've taken a look at desktop gadgets, let's take a look at some fun games. And fun fact, this page existed in the first version of Windows 10. I'm not sure about earlier versions after 1507, which is RTM, but you would have to put certain text in the run dialog or in command prompt, and then it'll open the games page, but that was eventually removed. Now you'll find here that all the services for online games here, they were shut down a while ago. They don't work anymore, but offline games like Solitaire, Purple Place, Minesweeper, they work. So let's test out Minesweeper. So what level of difficulty do I want to play? I want to play advanced because, I'm so intelligent and I can play. Yeah, Windows Vista is having a graphics moment. How to play? I know how to play, thank you. You can already see why people downgraded to XP. Let's see. We're going to try easy mode. There we go. Now it's working. I'm going to click randomly. Impressive. Random. More random stuff going on here. I'm gonna hit bomb on my next one probably. Oh, I didn't. That's a lot of bombs. That's a lot of explosives. I'm gonna just exit. We'll check out Solitaire. I'm not very good at Purple Place, don't really know how it works. But I did play it a lot. Let's check out Solitaire just for a little bit. Gotta really think here. You know what? I'm so sorry. You know what? We're not going to save. Inkball. Now, I've actually never played this game before, so this will be my first time trying it out. If it'll load. Yeah, we can now learn more about this game. So, this is just a problem with the virtual machine, I'm going to guess, but we're going to say that games still work, with absolutely no issues. Totally no issues. Now with games out of the way, let's check out the control panel. Now, there was no settings app. That was introduced in Windows 8, and the control panel was still widely used. Even in Windows 8, 8.1, and then the start of 10, they really moved things. So we're going to check out each category and just take a look through. You got the Welcome Center, which we saw when we first boot into Windows Vista, the Backup and Restore Center, System Control Panel Applet, Windows Update. And now, fun fact, if you install the latest versions of the Windows Update agent, this UI will look like it did in Windows 7. So there's that. You have power options, indexing options, problem reports and solutions, performance, information, and tools. And this is the Windows Experience Index, pretty much. This is what this all is. We have device manager, administrative tools. Here, we'll make it easier. We'll go to classic view. You can view everything that exists within the Windows Vista control panel. Yeah, there's a lot of things, and a lot of these applets still exist in Windows 11. You just have to manually restore them. Now, I did make a video showcasing the control panel nearly completely revived with all the applets working and everything you can name, including the task links. Now, those task links are these hyperlinks here, and they all work just like they did. So if you're interested in watching that video, I'll leave the card in the top right hand corner so you can go check that out. So now we've taken a look at the control panel, it's still there. Let's check out one of the main biggest things, web browsing. So let's check out the latest and greatest Internet Explorer 8. And that's promising. It can't even display Microsoft's website, but it can display Google. This will be a recurring theme too. Continue to this website. Yeah, it's not recommended to go to Google, everyone. So you got Google, you got images. Okay, I'm impressed that still works, but that will not work. Will it? It's downloading nearly 80 items for a freaking website. Interesting. I guess we'll never know. We got YouTube. I totally wonder if YouTube works, Internet Explorer, the latest IE version. Yeah, no. But you know what will work? Google Chrome. So we're going to just download the latest version of Google Chrome. Let's display everything here. Did I notice it? I think I did. No. Closing you out. Do I want to make Google as my default browser? Sure, but do I want Google to know everything about my computer? No. So we're just going to download Google Chrome, continue to this website. Let's download it because, it doesn't recommend me to download an old version of Google Chrome. Would you look at that? It worked. For the future, if any of you guys have problems with installing things on Vista, just click on block and that should fix the problem, hopefully. If it doesn't, look it up on Google or Bing. But most of the time you guys will use Google probably. Just gotta connect to the internet. Oh, look at that, it's downloading stuff. Alright, Google Chrome has a lot of issues. Like my clock is ahead apparently. We can fix this by installing updated root certificates. So right now web browsing is looking fantastic. We can't even get into Google's homepage. So we're going to close out of this, but before we do, we're also going to fix this. This computer will no longer receive Google Chrome updates because Windows XP and Vista are no longer supported. Learn more. We're going to get rid of this because who wants to see that every time they load up Google Chrome? And there you go. It works properly. And I'm not signing in on Chrome because it's pretty old, not very secure. But let's open up Google, even though Google's right in front of us. Perfect. YouTube. Now YouTube recently updated their UI, so it's gonna look pretty bad on here. Yeah, well, some of it loads properly, but it's really not the best. If I open up my channel, my glorious channel, please subscribe. That'd be awesome if you did. Help out a lot. And you can see just the profile picture and all this stuff loads, but the banner just will not load. I can't even click load image. But would it work? No, it wouldn't really work. Let's check out installing Office XP on Windows 98 2nd Edition. I'm impressed. It loads fairly well. But 1080p is the max. Which isn't a problem. It's not bad. Let's check out just going on Google here. I can even type here. It just brings me to the top. You type Windows Update. Oh. Yeah, I guess we do have to go to Google on Google. Windows Update. Here, that's somewhat modern compared to Internet Explorer 8, which I'll show you real quick. No. We're not making you that. Now, we shouldn't get any security prompts saying this website's not secure, not recommended. So if we open Google up, it just loads without problems. So if we type Windows Update, it all shows up in the middle. You can see images just loads things pretty well. Yeah, it loads it well. We do the same thing here. Well, it does center it here, but this time it can take you to URLs, but images don't seem to load properly. It just takes you to the website. You can kind of see it here. You can do open image in a new tab, but then it just looks really small. You gotta zoom in a lot. And I don't feel like zooming in to look at an image every time I want to view something. But save image as, that will download. We can expand that, save it to our downloads, and we can open it. And we're gonna view it using Windows Photo Gallery. Pretty well, great app. We can go slideshow mode. That's just terrible. There's media playback for you as well a little bit. So there's web browsing for you. It's pretty well. It still works. It's okay. It can do daily tasks for you, but I would definitely recommend using something modern than that, like the latest versions of Google Chrome, even Microsoft Edge and Firefox. So now with web browsing out of the way, let's take a look at media playback. So we can go to pictures, and you can see we have sample pictures. It's too bad that Microsoft just checked out all this stuff in the latest versions of Windows. It was quite the experience back then. At least this looks much, much better. These images look awesome. And especially on the CRT, they do look pretty nice. And again, in 2006, 2007, most people were using either CRT monitors or they were just using 4x3 flat screen LCD monitors. Nowadays, we have incredible monitors, 16:9, including we have ultra wide monitors, 2 curved ones, 4 8K. It's incredible. So that's media playback for you for pictures at least, but let's check out some sound, some audio. Now, just for copyright reasons, I'm going to mute the audio, but let's just load it up at least. We'll just do express settings. We don't need to go into custom settings. I'm not looking forward to changing too many settings here. This looks great, and it sounds great too. While that plays, we'll just go to the library and we can see all the sounds so we can see all the songs that are here. Yeah, 2006, 2005, then 1995, so that's a while ago. And we can rip CDs from here as well. And what would you rip from VirtualBox guest editions? But we can burn audio, which you would have definitely done back in the day. Sync. Now if I had to guess, you'd be syncing audio to an MP3 player maybe. But then you got Bing here. I'm going to just click search in Bing browser on my computer, online music streaming. So we have web browsing done, media playback done. Let's check out some apps. And now the app we'll be checking out here for this video will be Office 2010. So with our ISO inserted into the virtual machine, we can install Microsoft Office 2010. Now be careful when you're installing this, because if you click setup, even though you're running a 64-bit edition of Windows Vista, it's going to install the x86 version, at least from what I've seen. So we're going to open the x64 folder and we're going to run setup from there. We're going to put in our totally legit product key. And no, I won't be showing the product key. We're going to accept the license agreement. Click continue. We'll do install now. Wonderful. It's now finished installing Microsoft Office Professional Plus 2010, the definitive version of Office 2010. So we can just close out of everything. Go to the start menu, all programs, Microsoft Office, and we have all of what it installed here. Let's open up PowerPoint, then we'll do Word and Excel after. No, we're not going to do this, and we're going to use recommended settings to install updates for Microsoft Office. Let's make a splendid PowerPoint presentation in Vista. So why Vista is good by me, because we're going to do that. New slide. Reason 1, Aero. It is good. That's my presentation. We're not saving this. Then we're going to just do Word. Nope, we're not activating that. And we're going to do this is a test. Windows Vista is very good. It works. We can make our text red. We can highlight it yellow. Oh, this is cool. We can do that. You can make it readable, very readable. We're going to cross out the text, make it italic, bold, underline it, change the size, make it really big. We can change the font. We can do it, what does this do? It increases the font size, and we'll do all uppercase. Yep. And that just takes out the formatting. Yep, takes out formatting. We can make it bullet. We can make it a bullet point. Add headings, change styles. There's so many things you can do with this. But we're just going to close out of it. Lastly, we're going to check Excel. If I can type. We're going to do number 1, number 2, Windows Vista. There we go. Excel works properly just like it used to. And now, of course, all this stuff's going to work like it used to. We're just going to see how well it really performed. So the next thing on our list is to take a look at Windows Media Center. Yeah, we can just do express setup. We don't need to do anything. And that was fast. In 7, you have a bit more stuff to set up, but I guess for Vista, it's pretty simple. So yeah, your pictures and videos, tasks, music, TV and movies, online media, tasks, pictures and videos. There's a lot of things you can do from here. But it is pretty compressed compared to Windows 7. So let's check out the picture library. We don't need to set up anything. But look how cool this looks. You know, it's a shame that they took this out of Windows. Now, another thing is that this was in Windows 8 and 8.1, but not out of the box. You'd have to get a special version or some special license key that would get you Windows Media Center. But you can get Windows Media Center on Windows 10 and 11, but you have to use a third-party app for that. But it does get it on there, and I've made a video on how to actually get Windows Media Center installed on latest versions of Windows. I'll have the video linked in the card in the top right-hand corner so you can go watch it. So looking at pictures still works. Got music. You can see kind of like Windows Media Player, you have all your album covers displayed here, and the graphics are having a wonderful time. You can do play album. Looks great. Plays well, audio sounds great. Again, you wouldn't be able to hear it because I muted it for copyright reasons. You got TV and movies. These are just sample videos. Does play just fine. So there's Windows Media Center, works just like it did back in the day. So next thing we're going to check out are desktop wallpapers. Now you might say, oh, of course this still works, but we're going to just take a look at how they look. Oh, they just look wonderful. You have that wallpaper. Got a lot of wallpapers here. In latest versions of Windows, they just come with like maybe 5, 10 at best. These have like 20, 30, maybe even more. There's a lot here. You got sample pictures. Another thing, they got solid colors, which is right here. And now if you don't activate your version of Windows, then Windows will automatically just set your wallpaper to black. Every time you try changing it, it'll just keep putting it there. Alright, in my opinion, I think this wallpaper is one of the best wallpapers, but that's just my opinion. You could say now that this wallpaper here looks great. Now, they actually have special widescreen wallpapers too, because widescreen was the biggest thing as well, right? So that wallpaper looks nice too, but then you have the default Windows Vista wallpaper. So I'm just going to keep it at this, and we're going to close out of personalization. So now we've gone through 9 things. Now the 10th thing and the final thing we're going to take a look at, and this might be the biggest thing in this video, is Windows Update. Now I've done a lot of Windows Update videos on this channel. Now if you want to check out the Windows Update playlist that I've made, I'll leave the card in the top right hand corner so you can go check out all those videos. And in that playlist includes the video on how to get automatic updates working for Windows Vista. And I'll be applying the same method so we can get automatic updates working again. And there we go, we now have available updates. For some reason it's not showing all of the updates that are there. There should be roughly 215, and there should be a lot of Windows Ultimate Extra updates available. But that's alright. At least it shows some updates here. So we have some updates for Windows Media Center, some updates for the operating system itself, some other things for Windows Mail, and an update for Windows PowerShell 2.0, Windows RM 2.0. So let's install updates and just see if they actually install. Perfect, all of the updates installed successfully. To finish installing them, we just need to restart the virtual machine. So there you have it. That's Windows Vista in 2023, 16 years later. So after all of our testing and seeing how well Windows Vista actually holds up, I would say it's pretty good. You know, it's worth giving it a second chance. Sure, some things don't work properly because this is an older operating system and not that many things still support it, but you could technically still use it as a daily driver. You could update it to the latest updates to make it more secure than it was, but it's still going to have some security vulnerabilities. So Windows Vista with modern hardware, updated hardware, and working hardware is pretty good. So that's it. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to subscribe to the channel as it helps out the channel a ton. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.